Hello and welcome to the Divorce to Bliss podcast. Here you will learn all things related to healing from divorce, mind, body, and spirit, so you can create a beautiful new life filled with happiness. I'm Rachel Ruby, author of Divorce to Bliss, divorce coach, speaker, and attorney, and I'm so glad you found me here. Hello and welcome to the Divorce to Bliss podcast. Today's topic is raising your vibration to heal. Now, you may have heard before that people with high vibrations are more happy, more successful, more in tune with themselves, and really have happier lives. And this is true. But we all have vibration, and many of us think that this is just like a woo-woo thing, right? Like a hippie thing, but it's not. But this is true. We all have a vibration, and we can change it to make it a higher vibration. When we're healing from a trauma like divorce, many of us tend to be in a low vibrational frequency because we experience feelings of sadness, anger, and fear. It puts us in a lower vibration. It helps to know what a vibration is and how to raise it so that we can continue along our healing journey or start our healing journey. And the great thing is by understanding your vibration and how to raise it, you will not only be raising your vibration, but you'll also be exacerbating your healing journey. So there's a double bonus. So let's talk about what a vibration is. Vibration means energy, and we all have energy that we feel inside and that we project onto others into the environment. And through this energy, people either want to be around us or they don't. Whether our vibration is high or low depends on the energy moving through us. The frequency at which the particles inside us are moving. Those frequencies will determine our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. How is our vibrational frequency determined? Many things come into play when we are talking about the frequencies within our bodies that make up our vibration. The first step is to be aware of the emotions, intuitive feelings, and the way in which we react and respond to people, places, and situations. If you have positive feelings of peace, love, compassion, and joy, you're going to have a higher vibrational frequency. If you have more negative feelings of sadness, anger, and shame, guilt, or fear, of course, you're going to have lower vibrational frequencies. We all know someone who runs on high vibrational frequencies. I want you to pause for a moment and think of somebody who is an extremely positive person. And if you don't personally know somebody like this, you can think of maybe someone that you see on television or on a podcast that has a great positive vibe. And if you think about the last time you were with this person or saw this person, especially if you were in a social setting, think of how that person tends to make others feel. And you can judge that by how you feel and how others around that person react to them. So if that person is, let's say, in a restaurant and is laughing and having a great time and making the wait staff feel great and chatting with the people at the next table and they're smiling, you can see that the person's vibration is being felt by others and it's a positive vibration and people love that. And people are very attracted to people with positive vibrations because we all in some way want to be like that. Divorce, of course, can definitely create a low vibrational frequency, like I mentioned. And this usually starts when the couple is thinking about splitting up, even if it's one member of the couple, because we can feel from the other person their vibration, right? So if they're unhappy, we can feel that. And if we do go through the divorce, and it usually is quite a process, a lengthy process, and that is usually not an easy process. And so, of course, most people are in that low frequency because of what they are experiencing. I'm happy to say that we can all raise our frequency, our vibration, and we can all get into a more positive space, which will allow us to move forward. So let's talk about how we can do those things. Number one is to recognize the feelings and emotions you are having. And this is mindfulness. It's really tuning in and saying, wow, I feel sad. I feel angry. I feel hurt. And really speaking that out loud. and writing that down and just saying it to yourself. Because when you are mindful of how you're feeling, that's a huge step in not only wanting to heal and fix it, but in being able to move forward. Number 2 is infusing positive thoughts into yourself, into your life. And this may sound easy, but we all know that sometimes it's really difficult, especially when we're stuck in a low vibration. So here's some ways that you can infuse positive thoughts into your life. Expressing gratitude. It's a great way to do this. I highly recommend doing it in the morning when you wake up, like I mentioned, and in the evening before you go to bed. Journaling these positive thoughts, this expression of gratitude is also another way to infuse positivity into yourself. And using visualization to picture where you want to be at the end of your healing journey, where you're going, what you picture yourself living in this new life is also a wonderful way. Meditation, which I mentioned, is another wonderful way to infuse the positivity. Spending time in nature, turning off electronics and social media. And you can do this for long periods of time, or you can make time every day to do it. Of course, at night is usually easier because you don't have a lot of stuff going on online, most likely. So using positive affirmations is another one. Staying away from situations and people who do not have high vibrations, and focusing on positive personal growth content like books, podcasts, or classes and courses that will help you feel more positive. And those are just some of the ways that you can get started infusing positivity into your life and yourself so that you can raise your vibration. Number 3 is to take care of your body. Now, you've heard me discuss this many times, and there's actually a whole podcast devoted to healthy eating and taking care of your body, which is your temple. So please check that out for more detail. But in a nutshell, of course, we want to eat healthy, we want to hydrate, and we want to move our bodies. Exercise is different from movement. We want to do both. I mean, exercise is movement, and we want to do exercise for sure every day, a little bit, but we also just don't want to be stagnant. So especially if you're sitting at a desk all day long, get up at lunch and walk around, move around, do some stretches, do some jumping jacks, whatever it is, but keep your body moving because that loosens everything within your body and it doesn't keep your muscles tight. And when you have a really tight body, that helps your vibrational frequency drop because your body's not fluid and moving. So find a way to do that. As far as the eating goes, of course, you want to stay away from processed foods and heavy meat eating and oils, and you want to eat lots more vegetables and good fats, and avoid alcohol and caffeine as much as possible because those things do not help us when we are trying to stay healthy. Number 4 is nourishing the spirit. And one of the best ways to do this that raises your vibrational frequency, which I've already mentioned, is getting out in nature. Now, it's really great if you can be barefoot in nature when you go to the park or the lake or the beach or the mountains or wherever you are, or even just if there's a beautiful tree in your backyard or in your neighborhood, go sit under the tree and just look up at it and marvel at how beautiful it is and all of the creatures that are there because of that tree, the birds and the bugs, and just realize that it has roots that go deep down into the earth, just like you do. And you can even visualize yourself as you're sitting there with roots going down into the earth and intertwining with that tree. And it's a really beautiful visualization because it makes you feel really close with Mother Earth. So that's one way to nurture the spirit. Also, like I mentioned before, laying on the ground and looking up at the sky, experiencing quietude. Quiet is so important, especially when we are healing. And if you can find places and times, a little bit of time in every day, and if you can even do it several times a day, to just be in a place where you are quiet and all you can hear is your heartbeat, your breath, and the nature around you if you're outside. If you're inside, just the quiet, the hum of your home or wherever you are, and just relish that time, because it's when we're quiet that we usually get intuitive messages and that a lot of things come to us, a lot of answers come to us when we're quiet. as opposed to when we're not quiet and it's noisy and there's people everywhere. And although these times can be fun and we think that we want to escape by being in busier, louder environments, it's the quiet that lets us turn within and really get to know ourselves. And when we get to know ourselves and what we need and what we want, and we feel calmer and more at peace, we raise our vibration. So all of this is entwined with just being present in the moment and not thinking about the future or the past, but just right now. And it's really a wonderful thing to experience. And you can do that when you meditate, and you can do that when you're out in nature, and you can really do it anytime. But try to have a few moments every day of just complete quiet and see how it makes you feel. Number 5 is meditate. And meditate is food for the mind and the spirit. And I've talked a little bit about it already. And again, I have a podcast on meditation. So I really encourage you to start doing small meditative practices every day. And like I said, my favorite time is in the morning when I wake up, because you don't have a million thoughts in your mind running around yet. You're not out and running and busy and doing things and working, picking up the kids, doing your errands, whatever you need to do. It's a time that's kind of new, fresh time. There's not a lot of noise going on around and outside. And if you're a parent, you have young children, you might want to wake up a few minutes early every day and do meditation, because it was such a huge game changer for me. So please do try it. It is one of the best ways to raise your vibration, because it brings you that calm and that peace, and that makes you feel joyful and grateful and happier. And it really, I think, is probably the number one way to raise the vibration. Number 6 is to surround yourself with positive people and stay away from places or situations that don't feel good. This is so important because, of course, when we are working on our own vibration, we do not want to be affected by that of others. And if we are around people who are negative, it's so easy for them to bring us down. Even if they don't say anything, if you are like me and you are an empath, you can feel that negative energy coming off of people. And I feel it even off of strangers, especially when I go to places that are really crowded or somewhere where there's lots of people congregating and shopping. And I don't know why, but in those kinds of situations, I really feel a lot of negative energy coming off of people. So I kind of prepare myself when I go into those types of places before I go in to just let go a little bit. And sometimes I'll even put really beautiful music on my headphones and do that while I'm in these places, because they affect me so much. But again, you want to surround yourself with people who really have your back, who really love you, who really want you to heal. I have a whole podcast on support networks, and this might be something for you to listen to in order to learn how to find your right support network, find your people who are going to really love you and support you and let you make your own choices. And similarly, there can be places and situations that make us feel a really low energy, low vibration. And if we have a family with many issues, let's say, and we go to a family gathering, sometimes that can make us feel really down, especially when we're healing, and especially when there's perhaps statements of shame coming from the family for the divorce, or just negative statements related to what you're going through. And so in those situations where you know that you're going to be egged on and affected by what others say, you want to try and avoid those kinds of situations while you're healing, because the more positive energy you are surrounded by, the easier it will be to change your own vibration. And last is to learn to listen to and trust your intuition. Now, to learn more about intuition, I would highly encourage you to listen to my podcast on intuition. And for here, the purposes of this podcast, I will say that intuition is something we all have, even if you think you don't have it. And it is an inner voice that tells us what we should do or should not do. It is an inner voice that guides us. And it usually comes to us in the form of signs or other people who are sent to us to give us a message, or even a dream. And so we really want to get better at listening to our intuition, because this helps us raise our vibration. Because when we listen and we trust and we act upon the messages we receive, we become more positive, because we realize, wow, I just listened to myself and I did this and I feel so good now. I was right. I knew what I needed. That instills positivity. So trust your intuition and the guidance that you will get from your intuition in order to change your vibrational frequency. So those are my 7 quick tips for changing your vibration. And of course, all of those are tips that I talk about in the healing process as well. And so if you start working on these tips, you will not only be able to heal better, but you will become a more positive person, raise your vibration, and then you're going to be that person that other people are attracted to, that other people want to be around, because they will feel that from you. And you will feel so amazing within your own skin, within your body. Your heart will be full and you will be able to move along on your healing journey so that you can create the beautiful life you dream about and want. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I thank you so much for being here today and hope you have a wonderful day.